Chairs No Waiting, episode number 789, Mayberry Filming Locations. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and check out the new blue and orange or orange and blue combo pack of t-shirt and hat that you can go pick it out. There's all kinds of other colors in there. There's a cumin and stone blue and pink and brown. Go and check them out if you like that. While you're there, you might want to check out some of the new Mayberry Man and Mayberry Man the Series products that are over there. Go and check those out. And you also might want to check out the Mayberry 4-coaster set over at Weavers. Boy, guys, there's lots of stuff over at Weavers. So thank you to Weavers for sponsoring the show. And I want to thank our executive producer for episode number 789, Rick Marks and Cody Sloan. I want to thank both of them for helping to sponsor the podcast tonight. And Rick actually should have been the sponsor last week, but I forgot to mention it. So thank you, Rick, and thank you, Cody. Thank you for being here with me as well. I'm Alan Newsom, the host of Two Chairs No Waiting. Always fun to spend time here with you talking about the Andy Griffith Show and visiting. And guys, we have got a special treat tonight because we're talking about Mayberry filming locations. Now, I've been fortunate enough to be able to go out to Franklin Canyon, the Franklin Canyon Reservoir. I've been there. I've done some podcast episodes about that. You can go back and check them out where we walked around Franklin Canyon, and I definitely kind of encourage you for those to watch the video versions. Tonight's not any different than that. I really kind of would request or suggest that you might enjoy watching the video version of this podcast, because we're going to have a special report from, I guess we'll call him our roving reporter. He's been on here before, Cody Sloan. He went on a trip back in early April of 2024, this year, with members of the Mayberry chapter of the Andy Griffith Show, Rerun Watchers Club, and a whole group of folks. It was kind of led by the Mayberry chapter, Dennis Bill. Thank you, Dennis. Out to California to see locations that were filmed during the Andy Griffith Show. Like I said, like Franklin Canyon, Red Studios, Desilu, the Backlot area, 40 acres. Anyway, while they were there, they discovered locations that their people had never found before, or I don't know if they looked for them, but they'd never found them. So they were able to do that. And the person I believe most responsible for finding many of those newly discovered, at least the best of my knowledge, newly discovered locations that Andy Griffith Show episodes were filmed was Cody Sloan. We had a great report during the Mayberry retreat that Randy Turner, our roving reporter, Randy Turner, from This Week in Mayberry History. He did the Mayberry retreat and presented a section all about their trip and the filming locations and bragged on Cody a lot. And so I wanted to ask Cody if he would to step in and give us a report about this amazing trip that he was able to be a part of. And I want to say, Cody is not in this episode, not bragging on himself. He's not trying to throw it in anybody's face that he got to go on this amazing trip. But what he is trying to do is bring us who didn't get to go along with him in that whole group as they got to go and see these places that we've seen on television so many times. And hopefully with this report, you'll be able to experience virtually what he was able to experience in person. And this is just part one of this report. So there will be additional parts of this coming up on future episodes. So let's go and let Cody take over. And, I should go ahead and say, we'll come back and we got some trivia and stuff after he finishes. So stick around. But for now, let's hand it off to Cody for his amazing report.
Hey everyone, this is South Carolina Cody. I wanted to share a little bit about a trip I was able to be a part of recently. Myself, Dennis Bill, Randy Turner, Neil Brower, and Vicki Drescher went to California back in April. Over the 10 days we were out there, we were able to visit some really incredible places. Some I thought I'd never get to, and visit some of the remaining cast and crew of the Andy Griffith Show. This week, I will highlight some main filming locations of the Griffith Show and Gomer Pyle USMC that we had the opportunity to visit. Next week, we'll dive into some other things that I think you will enjoy as well. One of the great parts about this trip was having two very special guests with us. For the first 2 days, Andy Bullock, son of writer Harvey Bullock, was with us. For the first 3 days, Dixie Griffith, daughter of Andy Griffith, was with us. Being with these two wonderful folks and them showing us places that were significant to them and their parents was a very unique experience. We kicked off things with a tour of Red Studios, but we all know it by a former name, Desilu Cahuenga. As you walk in the front gate, that site is certainly no stranger to the Andy Griffith Show fans. This was made up as Belmont Pictures in Season 6 for When the Taylors Go to Hollywood. It was also used as Camp Wilson in the pilot episode of Gomer Pyle when Andy takes him to officially join the Marines. Just after you walk in, on the left is what was the main administration or office building for Desilu at the time. In front of this building was where Gomer sang with the bucket on his head and where Sergeant Carter got his first taste of Private Pyle. This was also used extensively later in the Gomer Pyle series. Many times we saw Gomer go up and down the steps on the right side of the building, and it was used as the exterior of Colonel Gray's office in the Camp Henderson headquarters. And by the way, the stairs that Andy stands in front of as he's leaving Gomer happens to be right across from that building. It was so incredible to know and recognize just exactly where we were. As we made our way around the studio lot, our group finally came to what we all wanted to see, the soundstage used for the Andy Griffith Show. It's currently known as Stage 3. I'd always heard about it, but now was our chance to finally see it. To most people, it looks like an ordinary soundstage, painted gray on the outside, a couple of really large sliding doors, and this big open area inside. But folks, it is so much more than that. This building is holy ground for fans of the Andy Griffith Show. When I walked through the door to go inside the stage, I had a wave of emotions come over me. I could not believe I was actually standing where it all happened. Portions of all 249 episodes of The Griffith Show were done in this room. Standing there and walking around for a few minutes, I've replayed so many favorite scenes from The Griffith Show in my mind that took place right where I'm at. In some ways, it was hard to imagine where the sets were located and how everything was laid out 60 years ago, since it's currently used as an active production site. But on the other hand, we know what happened here, and it was truly an honor to be there and just take it all in. Just outside the Griffith stage is the current Stage 5, which was used for interiors of Hogan's Heroes. Alongside that building is a row of offices. However, at one time, Aaron Rubin occupied one of these offices. When folks like Harvey Bullock, Jim Fritzell, Everett Greenbaum, and other writers visited Aaron, they walked right where we were into one of those offices. I could go on for probably hours about walking the grounds of what was Desilu Cahuenga, but I'll wrap up our visit there with a walk down Lillian Way. This borders the backside of the studio lot, and there's another entrance there, the South Gate, and it happens to be right at the Griffith stage. This is the gate the cast and crew of The Griffith Show walked in every single day that they came to work. Just across the street from that gate was the location of what was best known as Thelma Lou's house at 830 Lillian Way. Of course, it was only used for exteriors, but that house and occasionally the other two beside it were often used. Not only as Thelma Lou's home, but also as Fred and Jenny Boone's home in Andy the Marriage Counselor, with other scenes being done here just serving as a residential street. Just a block or so south on Lillian Way is where the exteriors of Miss Bunny's apartment were shot for Gomer Pyle and several other scenes, but more on that later. Another primary filming location we visited was the former 40 Acres Backlot. As many of you know, it really was only around 28 acres, but it was still known as the 40 Acres. Naturally, the big draw for our group was seeing what at one time was the town of Mayberry, North Carolina. Thanks to old aerial photos and closely watching some episodes, we were able to pinpoint within a few feet of where the Mayberry Courthouse once stood. This was another powerful moment. Imagining the squad car pulling up with Andy and Barney getting out. Just so many memorable scenes that took place there on the main street of Mayberry. Today, the lot is mostly buildings used for studio space or other media production, and it can be hard to visualize the main street set as we know it being there. But just as it was at the old Desilu lot, we know what was here and how much those grounds mean to us. Randy, Dennis, and myself walked around quite a bit at one point, even going up Higuera Street on the sidewalk outside the 40 Acres Backlot, getting as close as we could to where the Taylor home would have once been. Most of that residential street is now a building and parking garage. On the west end of the 40 acres is where the Terra plantation from Gone with the Wind once stood, eventually being replaced by the exterior set of Stalag 13 from Hogan's Heroes. Not far from there is where the exteriors of Camp Henderson on Gomer Pyle were located, which replaced the farm sets used on The Real McCoys, also used in the early seasons of the Andy Griffith Show. This location is also where Wally's or Goober's service station was. While no longer used as an active entrance, just up from Camp Henderson was the Ince Gate. In the 1960s, this was the only entrance into the 40-acre backlot, and on several occasions, this gate and the guard shack were disguised as an entrance to a Marine base on the Gomer Pyle Show. This area of the 40 acres borders up against Bologna Creek. Across the creek was where a jungle set and man-made lagoon were located. The lagoon was used several times on the Griffith Show, like the Jinx, Bailey's Bad Boy, the Bed Jacket, just to name a few. And you can also see in the background the Baldwin Hills. We got up on top of those and got a great bird's eye view overlooking the backlot. But in many episodes of Hogan's Heroes specifically, but other episodes of Gomer Pyle and the Griffith Show, you can see those same hills in the background. Also on that same side of the creek is a stretch of road used in Barney's sidecar. This is where Barney had Checkpoint Chickie set up and where Andy pulled over the Army half-track in the epilogue. In the photo I'm showing right now on the screen, we are on that very stretch of road, driving towards where Barney stopped the truck driver. In other words, opposite of the camera shot in the episode. The third primary filming location we visited was Franklin Canyon Reservoir. Due to heavy rains, flooding, and other bad conditions earlier in the year, Franklin Canyon had been closed and just started to reopen at the time of our visit. Unfortunately, you could only enter on foot. So all of us drove to the entrance where the gate was closed. Dennis and I decided to try and walk in to hopefully make it to the lake. While paved all the way, it was a challenging walk going up and down several hills, probably close to 1.5 miles. We did eventually make it to the south end of the lake where we were met by security guards who told us the park was closed again and asked us to leave. There was also some construction going on in that area that would severely limit where we could have gone anyway. So we didn't have a great view of the lake, but took advantage of the couple of minutes we had there. All in all, I look at it as I finally made it to the old fishing hole, Myers Lake. And the concrete wall that goes around part of the lake was also easily recognizable because we saw it quite a few times in episodes of The Griffith Show. One particular site was just before we got to the lake, and we saw it when we left as well. There's a section of road that was used in Barney's first car. When everyone is in the car out riding around, there are 2 quick shots of the car driving through a wooded area. Upon close inspection and a lot of research, I figured out exactly where the shots were done. The road has a very distinct curve in it, with the curve being right at the lowest spot of the road. And for these 2 shots, the camera placement was just simply flipped from one side to another. In the second shot, the car is now on the side where the camera was in the first one, if that makes any sense to you. So in other words, the car and camera essentially swapped places. In the original episode, there's a wooden guardrail visible in the background beside what appears to be a shack or shed of some sort. That guardrail is still there, and I believe I found what could be the concrete foundation for where that shed used to be. I've not seen anything online of this location being identified, so there's a chance this is the first time it's been brought to light. Whether or not that's the case, it was still really cool to see yet another filming location of the Andy Griffith Show. Despite the short visit Dennis and I had at the lake, it was so special to realize the many memorable scenes from the Griffith Show and other shows that were done there. As of this recording, the park is back open again, and a return trip is definitely on my list. Folks, I just want to say in no way am I trying to brag on myself or put those of us who went on this trip on a pedestal. We had a wonderful time, and with Alan's recommendation, I'm producing this mini-series to share some of these places with you. Hearing the stories and seeing the photos may be as close as some ever get to visiting these locations, and perhaps it will inspire some to take the trip out there for themselves. Again, next week I will continue this with some more interesting tags-related sites and a few other things you might enjoy as well. In the meantime, I'm planning on doing a series of in-depth reports on these filming locations for Randy Turner's magazine, the Andy Griffith Show Ambassadors magazine. So keep an eye out for those in the future. Thank you all for watching and listening. And as Andy said, I appreciate it, and good night.
Oh, great job, Cody. Wow, so good. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Do not expect that kind of quality reporting from me. Great job. I'm so excited to be able to see this one. And again, I really encourage you, if you are only listening to the podcast, go to YouTube and watch this episode. It's 789. Go and watch it, because there were everything he was talking about, he was showing pictures of. So even, he was showing current day pictures and comparing with shots from the episodes of Gomer Pyle and the Andy Griffith Show and Hogan's Heroes. Definitely worth seeing both. And spotting that location where Barney's first car was driving down through there. That was really cool. I've never spotted that location. So while he is not bragging on being able that he's been out there, now I have been out there several times. And now, a matter of fact, I was out there in April, about 2 weeks after he was. And now I have to go back. I'm dadgummit. So I'm going to end up having to go back at some point, Lord willing, and see some of these locations I've never seen for myself, because that was a great report. You've definitely inspired me, and hopefully you all got to hear this too, and enjoy going on the trip with him. I can't wait to go next week as he reports further on this, plus his reports that he's going to be doing in the Andy Griffith Show Ambassadors magazine. So if you're not a member of that, it's Randy Turner does the Andy Griffith Show Ambassadors program, and you can be a member of that, and you'll get little magazines. I don't think I have one laying right here with me. I usually do, sitting right here beside me. But he does about 4 of them a year. It's a small format periodical, so it's a printed little magazine that's about the size of a regular paperback book, a little bit bigger than that. But it's very, very nice to get, and the fee is less than $16. It's $15.75, and you can download registration forms. If you go to mayberrybooks.com, you can then click on the Andy Griffith Show Ambassadors Program, and you'll be able to see it there. Another site I want to encourage you to go and check out is the 40 Acres retroweb.com's 40 Acres site. They have a great website and have a great virtual tour, and there will be links to those things in our show notes so that you'll be able to check those out as follow-up to what Cody had been talking about. There's a lot of great information there too about locations and what they looked like back in those days. It's definitely something I think you would enjoy if you've never been there. You go to, it's retro, RETRO web.com, and when you get there, you'll be able to find the 40 Acres homepage there. But there's a link in our show notes to that, and I'll have a link to the Ambassadors Program that Randy Turner runs as well. So Cody, again, thank you so much. Wow. All of us enjoyed that. I know I did, and can't wait to see more. So thank you for taking the time to put together that report and all the work that it took to be able to do that. We really do appreciate. Folks, we have a little commercial about an upcoming event I thought I'd play for us just to remind us about it. So I'm going to take it away.
Oh, the paper is just so full of things going on. Oh, here's a good one. Hey, you won't want to miss this. June the 21st to the 23rd. Yeah, there's going to be a big event. It's the second year of Mayberry Comes to Scottsburg, held in Scottsburg, Indiana. Oh, that's going to be. They got special guests this year. Rodney Dillard, the guitar playing darling boy. Dennis Rush. He was Howie, Opie's buddy. Oh, he's going to be there. Keith Thibodeau. He was also Opie's buddy. Yeah, he was Johnny Paul. You remember Johnny Paul? And they're going to have Karen Nice, Don's daughter. Ronnie Shell will be there. Oh, Ronnie Shell. Oh, he's a good one. Yeah, he was Duke Slater on Gomer Pyle. You remember him? Yeah, he was on 2 episodes of the Andy Griffith Show as well. You're going to have Dixie Griffith will be there with them. And Dreama Denver. Oh, Dreama Denver. Yeah, Bob Denver's wife. Oh, you remember Bob Denver? Oh, he was Dud Watch in at least one episode of the Andy Griffith Show. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he wanted to fight with the whittling sticks and stuff. Oh, I remember him. Yeah. Oh, guys, this is going to be a big event. All kinds of tribute artists. There's going to be shows. It's starting on a Friday, goes through Sunday. Oh, it's a big event. Head up to Scottsburg, Indiana, and check it out. You can go to MayberryComesToScottsburg.com with all the information. And they also have a Facebook page. Well, Facebook. Is that in the paper? I don't know. How do you get to that? If you can get there, you ought to go there. But it wasn't in the Gazette. I'm not sure.
Well, Floyd, thank you very much for that report, reading from the newspaper. Folks, yeah, if you go to Mayberry Comes to Scottsburg, you'll be able to find all the information about the scheduled of events and buy tickets and everything. So you're going to have tickets. Some of the events don't cost anything, but they have to have tickets for them. They're going to be showing the Mayberry Man movie and the Mayberry Man series during the course of the weekend. Definitely something you might want to check out because you can go and get tickets for those. But there's Ronnie Shell, Rodney Dillard, all these great things. David and the Giants, Keith Thibodeau is going to be there doing that. You can pick up for the Mayberry Man, the series. There's going to be folks there signing autographs from that if you like it and from the movie. And you can go and see the movie at the Ross Theater. And the series will be at the Ross Theater as well. So you can go, you just need to check out the scheduled events. They're going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So definitely join us. I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Now it is time for us to play a little Mayberry Trivia. If you guys are ready for it, let's get our background music going. There it is. All right, guys. Now we have gotten a few more trivia questions from our buddy Paul Mulick. So thank you, Paul, for these. Now this week's topic is about tickets. Speaking of tickets, it's all about tickets. So can you get these right? These may or may not be as easy as they were last week, the ones we did last week, because Paul is known to make the little bit harder for us. But here we go. Question number 1. And by the way, there will be 9 points available this week. There's only 6 questions. So pay attention. So question number 1 is worth 2 points. 2 points. Who tore up the ticket Barney gave him into little teeny pieces, and what violation was the ticket for? Woo, okay. So it's 2 points. So you get 1 point for one part of it and one for the second. All right. Here's the question again. Who tore up the ticket that Barney gave him and tore it up into little teeny pieces? And what violation was the ticket for? Oh, the chat room. I see some of them are getting that. At least who it was for correct. Or who got the ticket? Who tore up the ticket Barney gave him into teeny pieces, little teeny pieces, and what violation was the ticket for? All right, so here comes the answer. You can pause if you don't want to know the answer and try to think of it. So the answer to the first part about who tore up the ticket Barney gave him into little teeny pieces, the answer to that portion is Ben. Ben Weaver did that. And what was the violation that the ticket was for? That portion is for parking next to a fire hydrant. Parking next to the fire hydrant. Did you get that? That was a little tough, wasn't it? Woo! But now as you think about it, you remember him. You remember Ben looking out the window to back up and make sure he was parked in front of the fire hydrant. Good job on that one. If you got those or if you got one, each part was worth 1 point. So you could have 2 points now. Heading into question number 2, worth only 1 point. Andy issued a ticket to a man named Willie Jack for what violation? Oh my gosh. By the way, that last episode was the Christmas story. I think you guys may have known that was the Christmas episode. I'm going to go ahead and give you a hint on this. Andy issued a ticket to a man named Willie Jack for what violation? My goodness, folks in the chat room are getting this right. I would have no idea. Okay, so the episode it's from is Gomer the House Guest, if that helps you. Okay. Andy issued a ticket to a man named Willie Jack for what violation? The answer from the episode Gomer the House Guest, the answer is driving with defective brakes. So if you said brakes, he has bad brakes, something like that, I'm going to give you that you got that. So he was driving with defective brakes. That was the answer. All right. Question number 3, worth 1 point. Jerry Miller, remember Jerry Miller, told a woman that if she didn't move her car, he would ask Andy to give her a ticket. What was the woman's name? Oh my goodness. That's obviously from the episode The Banjo Playing Deputy. Okay, Jerry Miller told a woman that if she didn't move her car, he would ask Andy to give her, I'm going to have to ask Andy to give you a ticket. What was the lady's name? Oh my goodness. All right. I don't know if you know it. I had no idea. Miss is not going to get it. You got to give her a whole name. All right, here it comes. Jerry Miller told a woman that if she didn't move her car, he would ask Andy to give her a ticket. What was her name? Her name was Mrs. Claiborne, or Claiborne. Claburn. Claiborne. I think it was, or Claiborne. If you got anything like that, I'm giving you credit. Okay. Question number 4. These are all for fun, by the way. You don't win anything, so just having fun. This is more about tickets. Remember, everything's about a ticket. Number 4, for 1 point. Who once issued a traffic ticket to Barney Fife? Who once issued a traffic ticket to Barney Fife? I'm not going to give you a hint on this one because I'm afraid it's going to give it away. Who once issued a traffic ticket to Barney Fife? Folks in the chat room, not seeing. They're getting them close, but wrong. Okay, so the episode, I'll give you the hint now. The episode is Citizen's Arrest. Who once issued a traffic ticket to Barney Fife? All right, so now a lot of folks are thinking the wrong answer because while somebody did perform a citizen's arrest, who had to write the ticket? Oh, now you're starting to think about it. The answer, Barney, write yourself a ticket. Write yourself a ticket. Go ahead. You're kidding. Barney, write the ticket. Write the ticket. Barney wrote the ticket to himself. Oh, I don't think I would have got it either. I don't know. Some of the folks in the chat room, I think, may have gotten it. Kentucky Mike, I see he got it. See, there's a few people that said Barney. Indiana Steve, Opie's Charity in our chat room. By the way, if you'd like to be a part of our chat room, we have large groups of people. Right now, there's about 31 in that room. There's some folks in the main chat room, and then there's folks on YouTube and Facebook as well. They join us on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you go to live.2chairsnowaiting.com, you can be in there and play trivia right along with them. All right, question number 5. Everybody ready? This one's going to be a tough one. Here's why. Here's 3 parts. It's 3 points. You get 3 points for this one. In Barney's sidecar, okay? In Barney's sidecar, Barney issues a bunch of speeding warnings to truck drivers on Highway 6. Part A of the question, Part A. How many warnings does he give out? Part 2, what does he call his speed trap? And part C, what is the name of the hill the truckers need extra speed to climb? Woo! All right. I'm going to read them again. So this is all in Barney's sidecar, that episode. Barney issues a speeding tickets or speed warnings to truck drivers out on Highway 6. That's where he's at. Part A. A, how many warnings does he give out? 2. What does he call his speed trap? And C, what is the name of the hill the truckers need extra speed to climb? Woo, that's tough. All right, folks in the chat room are getting it right. All 3 points. I see them right there. Good job, gentlemen and ladies. Oh, my goodness. All right. I'm going to read them one more last time, and I'll start giving out the answers here. Okay, so Barney's sidecar. How many warnings? A, how many warnings does he give out? 2, what does he call his speed trap? Now, everybody should get that one right. Right. And what was the name of the hill? That's C. What was the name of the hill the truck drivers needed extra speed to climb? Okay, here's the answers. You ready? Part A. So A, how many warnings does he give out? The answer, 11. 11. Good job. If you got 11, I see that. Now this part 2, what does he call his speed trap? I think all of you got this one. Welcome to Checkpoint Chickie. Okay, so it's Checkpoint Chickie. I think we all knew that part. So y'all got probably 1 point. All right, and C, what is the name of the hill the truckers need extra speed to climb? The answer, C, is Turner's Grade. Turner's Grade. So it was 11, Checkpoint Chickie, and Turner's Grade. 3 points if you got them all, or you got anything between 0 and 3. So I don't know what you got. All right, and our final question. Here's our final question, number 6. When Gomer dresses in his deputy uniform, where does he keep his ticket book? When Gomer dresses in his uniform, where does he keep his ticket book? All right. How are you doing? Thinking about this? Okay, I'll give you a hint now. That's from the episode The Big House. I think you probably, he was dressed in his deputy uniform. Okay. When Gomer dresses in his deputy uniform, where does he keep his ticket book? One ticket book. Where does he keep it? All right, guys. Here's the answer. A lot of folks in our chat room looks like they're getting this one wrong. No, they got it wrong. A bunch of our chat room's not getting it. I don't think they're getting it because it's not in his hat. It's not in his hat. If you said his hat, that's incorrect. That's where his pencil was. His ticket book was in his right back pocket. He reaches to the back side, pulls out his ticket book. And then he says, pencil. And he has to think, takes off his hat and pulls out the pencil. That's where it is. Oh, did we get you? I think I would have said hat. I'm looking at the answer, so I knew, so I cheated. But how did you do? How did you do on that? All right, guys, you had 9 possible points. 9 points were possible. How did you do? That was it's all our trivia. So you had 9 points. Did you get them? Did you get 9? Did you get 6? How did you do? How did you do? I don't know how I would have done, but let's say our chat room. Let's see what they're coming. 7 of 9. What? So Jeff on YouTube got the pocket. Good job, Jeff. Jeff, I can't see the YouTube chat room, so thank you, Miss Weaver, for reporting from YouTube. So there you go, guys. So I don't know how many people got pocket, but I didn't see very many people in our chat room say it was pencil. That was in his hat. So great job, Paul Mulick. Those were kind of fun, actually. They were hard. Oh, my goodness, they're hard. But fun. That was pretty fun. I hope you guys had fun playing that. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the entire podcast. I know I enjoyed Cody's portion of the podcast. Great job to Cody. Thank you again for doing that for us all. We appreciate you, and that's why he is one of our executive producers for the week, because he provided great content to us. So thank you so much, Cody. And thank you for being here as well. It's always great to spend time with you in Mayberry. I'm so excited about all this. I've had such a good time. I hope you have too. I would love to hear from you. Write in and let Cody know what you think and how much better he is than I am. Give me a call at 888-684-8415 or email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or just head over to Two Chairs No Wedding and you can find all that information there. Tell Cody how much you enjoyed it. Folks, until next time, we'll see you here on Two Chairs. Good night, everybody.